Forget the Three Gorges or Itaipu, we are standing at a new threshold of global infrastructure at TechFlow Manufacturing. The Congo River, the deepest on the planet with a peak flow of 42,000 cubic meters per second, is being tamed. This is Grand Inga, an $80 billion structure designed for the most precise engineering minds in history. With a design capacity of 42,000 megawatts, it equals the power of 20 latest generation nuclear reactors combined. At TechFlow, we don't just see concrete, we see the heart, the massive Francis turbine systems with 10-meter diameters. Every steel blade must withstand pressure equivalent to the weight of an entire skyscraper under the crushing water flow. The greatest challenge is not the scale, but the tolerance. In this megalithic project, error is measured in microns. A hair-thin deviation is enough to turn a 1,000-ton unit into a kinetic bomb under extreme hydraulic pressure. Manufacturing begins at the electric arc furnace, where specialized alloy steel is melted at a searing 1,600 degrees Celsius. Carbon and chrome content must be refined to exactly 0.01% to resist cavitation, the enemy of every turbine. In the fabrication shop, 200 millimeters thick steel plates are sliced by a 40 kilowatt fiber optic laser system with absolute precision. This light beam is not just cutting metal, it is shaping the future of clean energy through AI-driven thermal control. But how do we join these giant pieces when each weld must withstand tensile stress of hundreds of megapascals? The answer lies in an army of multi-axis welding robots, operating continuously in strictly temperature-controlled environments. Every completed weld undergoes a brutal ritual of inspection, full-scale X-ray ultrasonic scanning for micro-defects. We do not allow even a single micro-bubble, because at 150 meters deep, the water pressure will find that weakness. Under the crushing force of the Congo, a microscopic crack can tear a massive turbine apart in milliseconds. Now witness the assembly of one of the most complex systems ever built, the dynamic balance of the 1,000-ton rotor. This is not just building a dam, it is an invasion of precision engineering into the wild heart of nature. Let's go deeper into the steel heart, where the first turbines are taking shape under automated supervision. The spiral case, a massive steel snail shell, must guide the flow into the turbine with zero turbulence. Every curvature of the stay vanes is optimized by supercomputers to minimize energy loss and vibration. The inner walls are polished to a mirror finish, reducing friction to nearly zero for maximum hydraulic efficiency. Observe the installation of the wicket gate's 60 adjustable blades that control the river's immense power. These gates must operate in perfect synchronization, adjusting to the flow within milliseconds via high-pressure hydraulics. The shaft, a solid forged steel cylinder weighing 500 tons, is the spine of this mechanical beast. Forging this shaft requires a 15,000-ton hydraulic press to align the metallic crystalline structure for maximum strength. Any impurity in the forging process could lead to catastrophic fatigue failure during high-speed rotation. At the assembly floor, we use liquid nitrogen to shrink-fit the bearings into place with absolute thermal precision. As the metal cools and expands, it locks the components together with a force that no mechanical bolt could ever match. Above the turbine sits the generator, a massive electromagnetic heart that converts kinetic energy into raw power. The stator frame, a colossal ring of steel, is being wound with thousands of kilometers of high-purity copper. Each copper bar is insulated with advanced resin composites to withstand potential differences of over 20,000 volts. Precision is paramount. The air gap between the rotor and stator is just a few millimeters across a 5-meter diameter. Any contact at full speed would result in an immediate electromagnetic explosion and total system failure. The rotor poles, giant magnets weighing tons each, are bolted onto the central shaft with aerospace-grade fasteners. We use laser alignment systems to ensure the verticality of the entire 2,000-ton rotating assembly. The thrust bearing located at the top supports the weight of the entire river's downward push on the turbine. A constant film of high-pressure oil, just microns thick, prevents metal-on-metal contact during rotation. Now, observe the installation of the braking system, massive calipers capable of stopping a 1,000-ton rotor safely. Inside the control room, the digital twin of the Grand Inga project is being activated for the first time. Thousands of fiber optic sensors embedded in the concrete and steel report data back to the AI core. Every vibration, every degree of temperature change is monitored to predict maintenance needs before they occur. The cooling system, a labyrinth of pipes, circulates chilled water to dissipate the immense heat of electrical resistance. We are now ready for the dry run tests, the final check before the Congo's water is unleashed into the penstocks. The penstocks are next giant steel tunnels carved into the bedrock to funnel the Congo's power. Each pipe is 15 meters in diameter, lined with high-tensile steel to resist the water's abrasive force. Welding these sections together requires absolute precision to prevent a pressure-induced blowout. At the entrance, the intake gates stand 50 meters tall, ready to hold back millions of tons of water. These gates are coated with specialized epoxy to prevent corrosion from the river's rich sediment. The hydraulic hoist system is activated, testing the lifting capacity of over 10,000 tons. Slowly, the first intake gate is cracked open, and the silence of the tunnel is replaced by a low roar. Water surges into the penstock, accelerating as it drops 150 meters toward the turbine floor. The air inside the tunnel is compressed, escaping through massive vent valves with a deafening hiss. Sensors detect the pressure rise, mapping the stress distribution across the steel liners in real time. The water hits the spiral case, swirling with incredible velocity as it prepares to strike the turbine blades. Hydraulic vibrations are monitored closely. Even the slightest resonance could shatter the structure. The governor system begins to adjust the wicket gates, preparing to synchronize the unit with the national grid. This is the moment of truth, the transition from static potential energy to dynamic kinetic force. Everything is ready. The first kilowatt of Grand Inga power is about to be generated. Synchronization begins. The rotor speed is locked at exactly 50 Hz, matching the heartbeat of the electrical grid. The phase angle aligns. A massive high-voltage breaker closes with a thunderous mechanical crack, connecting Inga to the world. Current surges through the busbar's solid aluminum conductors capable of carrying enough power to light a whole country. We are now at the transformer bank. These massive monoliths step up the voltage to 800,000 volts for long-distance travel. Inside, millions of liters of specialized cooling oil circulate to dissipate the intense heat of the magnetic core. The hum of the transformers is the sound of pure energy being refined, a low-frequency vibration you feel in your chest. Every bushing and insulator is tested against lightning strikes and surges to ensure 99.9% system reliability.
This facility is crucial for regulating the power supply. The equipment you see here ensures that the electricity generated reaches homes safely and efficiently.
From this point, electricity travels through HVDC lines, crossing jungles and deserts to reach industrial hubs across Africa. The transmission towers are steel giants, built to withstand the harshest storms and tropical humidity without failure. Back in the control room, the system load is ramping up. We are now generating 10,000 megawatts of clean energy. AI-driven load balancing ensures that the grid remains stable even as the massive turbines respond to demand shifts. But the work isn't over. We must maintain the balance between the river's wild force and our mechanical limits. Each turbine's bearing temperature is mapped in real time, looking for the slightest deviation in thermal performance. This is a triumph of industrial engineering, a proof that we can harness nature without destroying its soul. Maintaining a titan like Grand Inga requires a new generation of industrial robotics and AI-led oversight. Crawling robots equipped with ultrasonic sensors scale the dam's vertical face to detect invisible structural cracks. These units operate in high humidity conditions, using magnetic treads to adhere to the steel and concrete surfaces. Inside the turbines, micro-drones navigate the dark spiral cases, scanning for signs of metal erosion or cavitation. Every square millimeter of the runner blades is mapped against its original digital twin to measure material loss. Underwater ROVs dive into the intake tunnels, clearing debris with high-pressure jets without stopping the flow. The silt and sediment of the Congo are constant threats, requiring automated dredging systems to keep the channels clear. We use laser cladding technology to repair worn components on site, adding layers of superalloy with micron precision. This additive manufacturing process restores the hydrodynamic efficiency of the blades without total disassembly. Back in the switchyard, thermal drones patrol the lines, identifying hot spots in the insulators before they fail. A single overheated connector could trigger a massive arc flash, potentially blacking out an entire region. The AI core processes millions of data points per second, simulating thousands of what-if failure scenarios every hour. Predictive maintenance has replaced reactive repair, ensuring that the power never stops flowing to the grid. We are looking at a system that learns and adapts, a living machine integrated with the river's natural rhythm. This is the pinnacle of the fourth industrial revolution, where machines protect and sustain our global civilization. The power of Grand Inga does not stay in Congo. It is the catalyst for a continental industrial awakening. Massive HVDC converter stations transform the AC power into ultra-high voltage DC for lossless travel. These stations are marvels of power electronics, housing thousands of thyristor valves in sterile, cooled halls. From here, energy flows through 3,000 miles of conductor lines, bridging the gap between north and south. It fuels massive desalination plants in the Sahara and powers the megafactories of the new industrial era. Observe the precision of the grid interconnections, where multiple national networks merge into one supergrid. This is the backbone of a carbon-neutral future, replacing hundreds of coal-fired plants across the hemisphere.
This upgrade ensures the city's power supply remains stable for the next decade, even during peak winter demand.
The transition is seamless, managed by autonomous substations that balance the load with microsecond precision. Grand Inga has proven that the limits of engineering are only defined by the scope of our ambition. We are no longer just building machines, we are constructing a global life support system powered by nature. The sheer scale of the investment, $80 billion, has paid off in energy security for generations to come. Technological sovereignty is now a reality, driven by the manufacturing excellence of projects like this. As we look toward the horizon, the success of Grand Inga serves as a blueprint for the next generation of megaprojects. Every turbine rotation is a heartbeat, every kilowatt a spark of progress in our collective human journey. But Grand Inga is more than a destination. It is a laboratory for the next frontier of human engineering. Researchers are already testing graphene-based coatings to eliminate friction within the penstocks entirely. Beyond the turbines, we are exploring hydrogen production at a scale never before seen on Earth. The excess energy of the Congo will fuel the electrolysis of water, creating liquid gold for the ships of tomorrow. Imagine a world where energy is no longer a constraint, but a bridge to a multiplanetary civilization. The data gathered here at TechFlow is being used to design the tidal arrays of the great oceans. We have learned how to dance with the most violent forces of nature and turn them into a symphony of light. The sun sets over the Congo, but for the first time in history, the continent beneath remains brilliant and bright. This is not the end of the story. This is the calibration of a new era in manufacturing and power. From the first weld to the final synchronization, every second was a testament to our collective willpower. We invite you to witness the future we are building, 1 megawatt at a time, here at TechFlow Manufacturing. The roar of the river has become the hum of progress, a steady rhythm that will echo through the centuries. Grand Inga stands as a monument to what we can achieve when we stop fighting nature and start working with it. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world's most ambitious engineering masterpiece. I am your guide from TechFlow Manufacturing. Keep flow, keep building. The future is precisely engineered.